Hello. So we are doing geometry, chapter 3.1, pairs of lines and angles. So we'll do some concepts in the beginning and then we'll try to do more challenging problems that may be asked in the test. So first try to do the problem and then you can see the solutions. So parallel lines are two or more straight coplanar lines, means they lie on the same plane and they never intersect. And they stay the same distance. Here you can see this stay the same distance and always share the same slope, like if they are like this. Okay. And whenever two lines are parallel, we show them with the same arrow in between like this. Okay. So they are coplanar and they never intersect and they have the same slope and the same distance always. So two lines are screw lines when they do not intersect or they are not coplanar. So we've discussed this topic in detail in the last class or chapter 1 practice test. So parallel postulate says that if there is a line, suppose like a line L given and a point like point P given here, which is not on the line, then there is exactly one line which can be drawn, which is drawn through the point which is parallel to given line like this. So we can draw only one line parallel to the given line L passing through a single point. Only one line can be drawn. And these are the small directed arrows which shows that these both lines are parallel. So perpendicular postulate says that if there is a one line, like line L shown here, and a point not on the line, like point P here, then there is exactly one line through the point perpendicular to the given line. So we can draw only one line which passes through point P and is perpendicular to line L like this. This is the sign of uh, perpendicular, this box here. Okay. So now we'll do corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are a pair of angles that occupy the same relative position like this at each intersection, and a straight line called a transversal crosses the other two lines. This is a transversal and this is line M and N. So they never touch each other or share a side. Corresponding angles like this 1 and 2, they will never touch each other or share a side. And one is like on the outside and one is on the interior. Like one is on the outside and second one is on the interior of the two crossed lines. And angles match in location at each intersection, such as top right. So this is like top right corner. Okay. And or you can say the left side or this one down. Okay. So they match in the location of at each intersection. Okay. We can also apply the F shape rule. So F shape rule is like we can spot them by looking for a visual F shape like this. And the matching angles, they sit inside the matching corners of F like this. This 1 and 2 or this 1 and okay. So the F may be backward, upside down, or forward. Okay. So when we'll do, these concepts are very necessary when we'll do a complex problem at the end. So alternate interior angles, they are a pair of angles on the inner side of the two crossed lines like this. And they lie on the opposite side of the third line called transversal. This is a third line. Okay. And they lie between the two main lines, not the outside. They are interior. We can see here they are at the interior here. And they do not share a corner vertex. So, and they sit on the opposite sides of the transversal line. Like one is on the left, like here, and one is on the right. So alternate interior angles, they can be found in the corners of Z. If we draw Z like this, they can also be like angle 1 and 2. These are interior, alternate interior. Here also 1 and 2 like this. So Z can be backward also. So this angle and this angle, they are alternate interior angles. So consecutive interior angles or the same side interior angles, they are pair of angles that lie on the same side of transversal lines, like this. And inside the two crossed lines, like the lines M and N. So they lie inside and they are on the same side of the transversal line, like left side or right side, like this. This pair of 1 and 2, this pair of 1 and 2, they both are consecutive interior angles. They can be also said as the same side interior angles. So alternate exterior angles, they are pair of angles that lie on the outer side of two intersected lines. Like these are the two lines, and this is a transversal, which is intersecting line M and N. So they lie on the outer side like this and this, and on the opposite sides of the crossing lines, like angle 1 and 2, they are alternating exterior because they are a pair of angles that lie on the outer side of the intersected lines and on the opposite side of a crossing line, which is a transversal. They are not adjacent and they form a diagonal pair of the across the intersection. Like this one is top left angle and uh, 2 is the bottom right. Okay. And we can also say like this or this one angle 3 and angle 4. They are also alternate exterior angles. So now let's do a problem, then it will be more clear. Hello. So this is the question. These are the two parallel lines at the intersection line shown here. So please try to do these questions. You have to write like angle 1 and all the possible corresponding angles here, like angle 13 and all the corresponding angles, possible corresponding angles here. So please take a pause and try to do on your own, and then we'll discuss the answers. So which angles are corresponding to angle 1? So we see that this angle 1 and 5, they are matching corresponding angles, because if we have to only consider this here like this. Okay, so we see angle 1 and angle 5, they are corresponding angles. Okay, we have to only see here this line, because this line is M and N, this is K and L. So here we are considering only M, L and K. So we see that 1 and 5 are corresponding. So next we see that the transversal line here is L. Okay, L is the transversal line and this is scale. So the line cutting is L and we can see that K and M, they both, so 1 and 11 are matching angles. So they are corresponding angles. So now here we clearly see that 1 and 17 are corresponding angles. Okay, because here the transversal line is L and the two other lines are M and N. So here transversal line which is cutting is L. Okay, and 1 and 17 are matching. So here the transversal line is line K and this is line M and N. So we can say in the question B, 13 and 5 are the corresponding angles. Okay. And similarly, if we see here, so here we can see that line K is the transversal and 13 and 9, they both are corresponding. So two lines which it is intersecting is L and N and K is the transversal line. So it is cut by a same line, transversal line K, and 13 and 9 are the corresponding angles. So in this case, we can see that 13 and 17, they are corresponding angles and line N is the transversal. So this is the line K and this is line L. Okay. And so line K and L are the two lines and N is the transversal. So 13 and 17 are corresponding. Now try next questions. So here we see, we have to find we are doing C. So angle 14 is here, K is the transversal and M and N are the lines. So 14 and 8, we can see that they are consecutive interior angles. So here we can see that 14 and 12 are consecutive interior. The line, the transversal line here is K, which is cutting them. Okay, and they are same side interior angles. Same we can see that 14 and 17 are consecutive interior angles. Here the transversal line is N and they are same side interior angles, or we can say consecutive interior. Now try D. So here we can see that 4 and 7 both are consecutive interior angles. They are same side interior angles. Okay. And the transversal here in this case is M, which is cutting the two lines which are L and K. Okay, so 4 and 7 are consecutive, uh, uh, consecutive interior angles. So we can see 4 and 9 are the consecutive interior angles here, and the transversal line here is L, which is cutting the lines, which is here M and this one K. Okay, and the line cutting is L, which is cutting the both the lines or is transversal. So in this case, we see 4 and 18, they are consecutive interior angles because, and the transversal is L and the lines it is cutting is M and N. Okay. Now we'll do alternate interior angles, E and F. So please try on your own and then check the answers. So we can see here transversal is M And the two other lines are L and K, which transversal is intersecting. And 2 and 7, we can say 7 and 2, they are alternate interior angles. Okay. Now let's find another interior angle with 7. So here we can see that 7 and 10, they are alternate interior angles. The transversal here is K, and the 7 and 10, we can see other lines are M and L, and 7 and 10, they are alternate interior angles. So here the transversal line is K, and we can see that 7 and 14, they are both alternate interior angles. Now try to do F, which is 17. Find the alternate interior angles with 17. Here we can see that 17 and 4, they are alternate interior angles. Okay. And the transversal in this case is line L, and this is line M, and this is N. So in this figure, we can see that 17 and 10, they are alternate interior, and the transversal in this case is L, line L here. Okay, this line L. Okay. So 17 and 16, they both are alternate interior. In this case, transversal line is M, and the two lines L and K, they are there. So N is the transversal line, and these are the two lines. So lines may not be simple always like this. Here, these are the two lines L and K, and N is the intersection line here. Okay, so 17 and 16 are alternate interior. Now we have to find alternate exterior angles. So try to do G and H on your own and then check the answer. So now we have to find alternate exterior angles with angle 6. So we can see this, and these are the two lines. Here intersection line is M. So 6 and 3, we can see that they are alternate exterior. If we just consider like this and this, so these and this are alternate exterior, which is 6 and 3. So in this case, we can see that 6 and 11, they both are alternate exterior angle. Transversal here is K, which is cutting the two lines like this. Okay, so transversal is here A, so 6 and 11, they both are alternate exterior angles. So here we can see that 6 and 15, they both are alternate exterior angles. And the transversal in this case is K. Now try to do question H. So if we see question 18, so 18 is alternate is exterior angle with 15. So in this case, we will consider these two lines. This is K and L, and transversal is N. So this 18 and this 15, they both are alternate exterior angles. Hello. So please do more problems from your book and please continue practicing. If you have any difficulty or with any question, please feel free to text me. Thank you. We'll practice more in the next class. Thanks for joining.